We begin CBS 2 News at 11 with breaking news: a deadly crash involving bicycles and cars in South LA.
Stu Mendel is live in Sky 2 with the latest. Stu?
Jeff, Pat, that's right, happening out here at Broadway and 82nd Street. And you're right, a vehicle did strike a bicyclist, and that bicyclist did pass away here on scene. Now, that car did continue on for a little bit and crashed into some parked vehicles. The driver did not attempt to flee. He actually was talking to officers when we arrived here. Again, this is happening on Broadway near 82nd Street, South Los Angeles area. A couple of blocks of Broadway will be closed while this investigation is ongoing by the LAPD. Live in Sky 2 over South Los Angeles, I'm Stu Mendel. Back to you two in the studio.
Now to more breaking news. A man trying to smash his way into a Fullerton home. He is dead tonight after a violent struggle with police.
And CBS 2 Orange County reporter Stacy Butler is live in Fullerton now to show us what happened. Stacy.
Pat and Jeff, locals I spoke with tonight tell me this guy was well known in the neighborhood. They say that he struggled with drug addiction, he was known to act erratically, and also struggled with mental illness. And tonight his behavior escalated, and it was all caught on camera. You're looking at security tape of a 23-year-old man neighbors describe as acting crazed and on drugs. First, he is seen pounding on the door of a female neighbor. Police say he did not know. Then he kicks down the door and enters her home. Luckily, the woman wasn't hurt. The guy ran off. Another neighbor called 911. That's when police showed up, but they say he began attacking them. Police say they tried to subdue him with less than lethal sponge rounds and the use of a taser, but officers say he fought them, injuring 3 of them. Officers finally took the guy into custody, and following protocol, first responders gave him a drug to calm him down in the ambulance. The suspect passed away later at the hospital. It was the second time police were called to the address this afternoon. The first time his family called 911, but when officers arrived, they said they didn't want him to go to jail. The second time, when she heard her neighbor struggling, Leticia Rulas called 911.
I just heard the yelling, and that's when I came out because I had kids inside the house. I don't think she's okay, not through what she went through with all that yelling and hitting, and her kids were there with her. No, that's very traumatizing. No, I don't think she's okay.
And police say that earlier this month they arrested the suspect for methamphetamine possession, and they had to put him on a 72-hour psych hold. The DA's offices, or investigators rather, with the DA's office are out here right now. This case remains under investigation. It's the latest from Fullerton. Back to you guys in the studio.
Stacey, thank you. The FBI has arrested this man for a strange crime. They say he used bleach to poison food in grocery stores around Southern California. Tonight, those agents say they're not even sure how many stores he hit.
And it turns out this is not the first time the man has been accused of tampering with food. CBS 2's Tom Wade is live in West Hollywood at one of the locations believed to be a target. Tom.
Yeah, that's right, Pat and Jeff. This is such a bizarre story and so scary because it is seemingly so random. One of those stores, as you said, this West Hollywood Ralph's, we believe it was hit, that the guy walked in and dumped this stuff on the food in refrigerators and freezers. The FBI says this man, 48-year-old David Lohr, a transient, poured bleach into freezers and refrigerators at stores across the Southland. They say security video shows him dumping the bleach into refrigerators and freezers in stores in Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, and West Hollywood. Lohr was also arrested and accused of similar crimes in Phoenix. Before he was released from jail last year, he spoke with the Phoenix Fox station.
I didn't do anything wrong. I committed no crime. It was one bottle of hydrogen peroxide. It was off their shelf at the Target, and it makes the chemicals go away.
According to investigators, Lohr carried out his poisonous attacks here in L.A. from December of last year through January. Court documents don't say the exact locations, but we did some checking and found out Ralph's was one of Lohr's targets.
These days, you don't know what people are going to do. It's ridiculous.
In one instance here in L.A., a customer and her child told a store employee that something was wrong with the ice. The child was carrying a bag of ice against his chest. It was full of bleach. And we now have learned that Lohr was tracked down and arrested in Northern California. By some miracle, no reported injuries have come out from any of the attacks here in Southern California. Reporting from West Hollywood, I'm Tom Waite. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, very strange indeed. Thank you, Tom. Clear skies today, but chilly temperatures grip the Southland, and another round of wet weather is just around the corner. So, what does the week have in store for us?
Here's Garth Kemp with a look at a very cold night ahead.
Yeah, we've got a cold night, you guys, and then not as bad for all areas, but certainly it's a cold night out there. 47 degrees, winds are calm, 74% humidity right now, 12 already up in the Big Bear, 30 up into the high desert. So we're dropping into the 40s, 39 in Temecula. We'll show you where the frost advisories are, and we'll talk about the change Pat was talking about. Rain's on the way, all in just a few minutes. Back to you guys.
All right, Garth, thank you. We have a pursuit, and we're not even sure it's in Century City, Pat.
That's right. Well, Stu Mandella's overhead in Sky 2, and he can fill us in with where this is. Stu.
You know what, we're just trying to figure out the one on this. I can tell you the Sheriff's Department in pursuit of this vehicle. We're in the Santa Fe area. This is going to be, we started off of Florence, but right now, like in Walnut Park, we're in the Walnut Park area. Right now, I can tell you that we're on Santa Fe Avenue northbound right there. You can see that vehicle still running from deputies out here. Sheriff's Department, they were behind this vehicle for some time, and they were doing what they always do. They were waiting for the helicopter to arrive here before they lit that vehicle up, but that car saw the number of officers. Whoa, some sparks right there, losing control, hitting some parked cars, coming to an end out here right behind a tree. We're going to be right off of Santee Avenue. You can see the deputies making their way, that person now running, trying to stabilize the camera. They're sorry about that, working his way, running down the street there, still continuing on. The light is where this guy is, guys. I'm telling you, that's for my pilots. There you go. You can see that person still running. That's not the officer. That's going to be the suspect continuing to run. Look at that speed right there. You can see the officers in the vehicles basically paralleling them right there. So this is going to be coming to an end here shortly. Hopefully that person not armed, taking him down right there. You can see the deputies taking that suspect down. Again, this thing coming to an end after the driver of that vehicle basically loses control after hitting a dip in the street out here. This is Saturn. That's the name of the street. Saturn near the cross of Alameda. We're in the Huntington Park area right now. Sheriff's Department taking a suspect into custody that ran from them earlier this evening. Live in Sky 2 over Huntington Park. I'm Stu Mandel. Back to you two in the studio.
All right, thank you, Stu. That was a stolen vehicle, we're told, and I'm just marveling at the speed of that police officer. Kudos to him for bringing that guy down.
Yeah, that was a rough landing, too, wasn't it?
For the suspect, it was.
Yeah. All right, thanks very much, Stu. A Victorville family lost everything when a car slammed into their home and exploded in flames. But that didn't stop them from saving the driver's life. CBS 2's Nicole Comstock, though, shows us how friends are now teaming up to help that family.
Helmet camera video shows just how extensive the damage was after a car crashed into the house and created an explosion.
When I came out, I thought, okay, I lost my car, but I never thought my whole entire house would burn down.
Shannon Blackwell lived here for 12 years. It's painful for her processing the unbelievable way everything she owned was destroyed.
I got to go to the store and buy a pen and paper just to write down what I owned.
And this right here was one of Shannon's trucks that was parked in the driveway when this BMW launched straight toward her home, burst into a ball of flames, and then came to a rest right on top of this truck. Shannon says when one of her roommates tried to rescue the driver, the gas tank exploded, knocking him to the ground. The driver eventually crawled out of a window with minor burns. CHP is investigating what caused him to lose control.
It just doesn't seem real.
But the thing about losing everything is that's when everyone who cares about you shows up in full force. This is the Spring Valley Lake Little League family.
One of the kids in our league needed our help, so we wanted to be there for not only for her and her dad, but the whole family.
They're raising money to help them rebuild their life.
It was really scary just to know that there's a fire nearby.
9-year-old Caleb Bean was on the team last year. He decided to donate his allowance, $20 he'd been saving up for months to buy a Transformers action figure.
But I just figured that it's a whole house that just got burnt down, and it's just one single little action figure. So might as well just give it up.
His gesture brought Shannon to tears. In Victorville, Nicole Comstock, CBS 2 News.
Now to breaking national news. The New York Times is reporting that ex-Clippers player Corey Maggette is facing a rape accusation from his days playing for Duke University. His accuser also says Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax sexually assaulted her.
CBS 2's Chris Holmstrom joins us now live with some pretty shocking details. Chris.
Yeah, for sure. And these rape accusations, they go back to 2 decades. And we're just hearing about them tonight. Definitely new information, a big shock for those NBA fans. Corey Maggette, one of the biggest names for the LA Clippers. He's the 5th all-time leading scorer in Clipper history and spent 8 seasons with the franchise. Maggette retired from the NBA in 2013 and became an analyst for Fox Sports.
I know everyone is excited about having a full-strength team.
His last broadcast was Saturday, the Clippers taking on the Celtics. But after a New York Times story was published today, he did not appear in tonight's broadcast. According to the Times, the rape allegations go back 20 years ago when Maggette played for Duke. While details are limited, here's what we know. Last week, the attorney for the woman who's accusing Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax of sexual assault says she was also raped by a basketball player during her sophomore year at Duke. In the release, it says she went to the dean and was discouraged to go forward. Fast forward a few days, and the New York Times says that basketball player was Corey Maggette. This is according to a childhood friend of the woman and Facebook messages the woman exchanged with another friend. Maggette denied the accusations, telling the New York Times, "It has only been through media accounts and a statement from Meredith Watson's lawyer that I first learned or heard anything about these sexual assault allegations." He goes on to say, "I have never sexually assaulted anyone in my life, and I completely and categorically deny any such charge." Okay, so according to that Times report, Duke is investigating the claims by Meredith Watson. As for Fox Sports, a spokesperson says they too are looking into the allegations. Pat, back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Well, a crash ending to a police pursuit of a stolen vehicle tonight in Alhambra. Sky 2 was over the end just after 9 o'clock, and that crash happened on Valley Boulevard near Marengo Avenue. Despite the bad accident, the suspect got out, tried to run, but he was taken into custody.
President Trump's quest for his border wall took him to El Paso, Texas tonight, where he held a campaign-style rally. Back in Washington, D.C., congressional lawmakers say they have a tentative deal to prevent yet another government shutdown.
But the framework of that deal lacks a key element for the president's border wall. And CBS 2 political reporter Dave Ryan is here now to tell us all about it. Dave?
That deal still has a long way to go, too, to become law, and we'll see, like you indicated, what the president wants to do with it. According to online reports from the Washington Post and Associated Press, the tentative deal that would avert another government shutdown would include more than $1 billion for building more than 50 miles of border fencing, not walls. And that's more than $4 billion less than what the president has been demanding. So at a rally in El Paso tonight, he seemed less than thrilled about it.
As I was walking up to the stage, they said that progress is being made with this committee. Just so you know, we're building the wall anyway.
Speaking at a rally in El Paso, Texas Monday night, President Trump, making faces and throwing up his arms, seemed deeply skeptical and somewhat disinterested when told that bipartisan Congress members in Washington have reached an agreement in principle to compromise on border immigration issues and avoid a second partial government shutdown.
I said, wait a minute, I got to take care of my people from Texas. I got to go. I don't even want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. So I don't know what they mean. Progress is being made.
The breakthrough came after top Democrat and Republican committee leaders met 3 times on Monday in a last-ditch effort to wrap up a deal. But the negotiators did not release any details about the agreement, and in fact, staff members are still finalizing the details. The 2 toughest issues were about how much funding should be allocated for border walls or barriers, and how many beds should be allowed for ICE detention suspects.
This is the border standing up for itself. This is El Paso telling our story. No one can tell it better than we can.
While President Trump spoke to a large crowd of his supporters, former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke, who's considering running for president, led a smaller crowd of his supporters in an outdoor rally and marching down the street, where he attacked the Trump border wall campaign.
I think it's terrible to seize someone's home or their farm to build a wall that we don't need at a time of record safety and security along the border. It's a solution in search of a problem. We don't need that.
And closer to home, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed an order today to withdraw about 360 National Guard members from duty at the Mexican border and redeploy them. And in doing so, Newsom said he's reassigning the troops so they would no longer be taking part in what he called the White House political theater at a manufactured border crisis. Pat, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Dave. Now, an alleged drunk driver set off this massive fireball last night at a Seal Beach gas station while a man was pumping gas. Video from the Chevron is pretty blurry, but it is clear when the suspect rams into the customer's car. There is an explosion of bright orange flames, as you see there. The victim was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries.
Police are trying to track down a suspect in a daring department store burglary. The LAPD says last summer, Michael Bourgois and Marvin Carter broke into the Macy's in Canoga Park. They allegedly got in through a roof door, went to the jewelry department, broke into the display cases there, and grabbed $700,000 worth of jewelry. Last week, Carter was arrested, but Bourgois, he's still on the run.
Country music stars took center stage tonight at a benefit concert for the victims of the Borderline nightclub massacre. Tyler Rich was the first singer to take the stage at the Thousand Oaks Civic Center. There wasn't much to say about the deadly shooting that happened on November 7th. Instead, the focus was on help, hope, and healing for everyone affected by the tragedy.
To get people up and dancing and smiling and raise money for all the victims and for victims' families and the people that are still going through post-traumatic stress, to not being able to work, raise money for just everything involved with the event.
To be able to get a call and come and help and be a part of tonight was just something I didn't need to think about.
Country superstar Trace Atkins wrapped up the concert tonight. People we spoke with say the event was a huge success.
Man proved to be dog's best friend in Moreno Valley tonight. This little guy was stuck in a sinkhole, didn't have any way out. That's until the firefighters showed up. They ultimately got the dog out, and we're told he's a stray, just fell into the hole. But chances are the dog's going to be cleaned up and then put up for adoption.
Oh, well, firefighters in San Francisco are fighting to keep their feline friend. This is Edna. She has called Station 49 home since she was rescued as a stray kitten 5 years ago. The building is actually a staging and storage facility for department ambulances. An anonymous complaint was filed about the cat living in the warehouse among boxes of medical supplies. Despite objections, the department ordered Edna out. But don't worry, because Edna is being adopted by one of the employees of the facility.
People who live in Seattle are being told stay home. That city is getting ready to be hit with more snow. Freezing temperatures and back-to-back snowstorms have caused havoc up there. City crews have been working around the clock for a week plowing the roads. However, that snow is starting to turn into rain, so the signs that the temperature is starting to rise, get back a little more to normal for them.
Well, I don't know. The kids are really enjoying it. They're sledding and tubing and doing all kind of fun sports.
Yeah, snowiest season in years, yeah. You had your little snow angel picture going out of your grandson?
My granddaughter.
Granddaughter, yeah. Beautiful up there. Fun for the kids. Why not enjoy it? Hey, look at this shot, you guys. Pretty out there. This evening, we're cold, but not quite as cold as what we've been. Some areas we are, though. 47 degrees right now. Winds are calm. Oxnard, it's 45, 44 Camarillo, 30 up into the high deserts, 12 into the mountains, and 39 right now into Temecula. Irvine's coming in at 47 degrees. 61 is where we hit it today. 68 is the average. There's our freeze warning now being added on. We didn't have that earlier, but it's been tucked in right now up into the Santa Barbara area. And then we have frost advisories. I'll get you a little closer. You can see where they're happening up towards Santa Barbara, Ventura County, up by Fillmore's with that freeze area, and then Santa Clarita all the way down to the Valley, Santa Monica mountain range. Please make sure your pets are inside. So the ridge begins to collapse slowly over the next several days, over tomorrow really, but you can see it's going to be a dirty ridge as some of these clouds will start to filter in. This is also a lot of rain involved in some of these clouds. It's almost a true Pineapple Express yet again for us. You can see by 5:30 on Wednesday morning, we're just getting a little bit of rain coming into Oxnard. And watch what happens. This will be the first bout coming in. I think we're going to see between 1 to 3 inches of rain by the time this event through Thursday to Friday is done. You can see the rain picking up throughout the day on Wednesday. So Wednesday looks like a washout. We could get rates that get really a little testy by some of the burn areas, so we're going to keep an eye on that one. We hopefully will stay below that 1/2 5-inch threshold. By 4 o'clock Wednesday, everybody's under it through the afternoon rush hour. So early morning rush hour, you might be okay if you get out and get on it on Wednesday morning, but certainly as the day progresses and through the afternoon, things will change. It's not a big snowmaker because it's subtropical in nature. That means the snow levels stay up there pretty high, but I'll take your way out. Watch, here's the projected for rainfall. By 1:30 on Wednesday, we're just kind of flirting around with the stuff, but as we progress into Thursday and then all the way in through Friday evening, there's our totals, at least 1.5 inches, 2 inches, a little more than that, down to the south as well. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on. Check out your 7-day. There it is. 66 tomorrow, 68 downtown. Beaches 68. The Valley 68. There's the rain on Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you guys, about a 20 to 30% chance of some showers as well. The IE 68, high deserts 58, mountains coming in at 43. Pat, you got family coming in. You're going to take them up to Universal. Probably on a Saturday. You'll be all right. About 20% chance of showers.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
You can handle that.
You got it. It'd be nice. It'll be perfect out there.
Okay.
All right.
You should come along.
I would. I like it up there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's accused of pestering women to date her son. The warning to female students when a concerned mom takes things a bit too far.